In India, Latin for fasting is the human ability to live without food. Since time immemorial, there have always been individuals who can sustain themselves on prana, or the vital life force. Through the grace of the Providence, in idiots, people who follow a food-free lifestyle can draw the energy from nature to nourish themselves.
They live on the chi, from the ground, or from the forest, and from the sun and from the air. They make use of all that. Or they live on love, on faith alone.
These individuals are known as Breatharians, Solarians, Watarians or Pranarians, and they come from all walks of life, from different cultures and all corners of the world. Indeed, the possibilities and miracles in this life as our benevolent Creator has designed for us are endless. We only need to connect within to recognize our abounding largesse as God's children. Supreme Master Ching Hai has lovingly recommended a weekly series on Supreme Master Television to introduce those individuals of the past and present who have chosen to live food-free on earth. May their spiritual stories enthrall you, may hearts be opened and horizons be expanded. We now invite you to join us for part 1 of our program, Dr. Mony Vital, a lifestyle of true freedom on Between Master and Disciples.
This program discusses the possibility of breatharianism or living without eating food and is not a full instruction. For your safety, please do not attempt to cease eating without proper expert guidance.
Last week, we traveled to India to meet Sri Sahaj Munji Maharaj, a high-minded Jain monk who lived on prana for 1 year to promote world peace. Today, we travel to the United States to meet Dr. Mony Vital, author of Life Unlimited and Ageless Living, Freedom from the Culture of Death. Dr. Vital lived food-free for 18 months.
You see, Breatharianism, the way I see it, for me it's knowing that I am the boss. I can control who I am.
As a child, Dr. Vital had the propensity to be a liberal thinker, questioning the world around him.
I was born in Iraq. We moved to Israel with my family as 5 years old. And I grew up there in Israel.
What was life like growing up?
Everything is traditions. The tradition is the first words and the last word. And so I opted not to be part of that tradition, in a sense, food-wise, thinking-wise, like behavior-wise. I was more independent. At 5, even at just very young age, I realized that it's all about conditioning, and I could not accept that conditioning. Even then, growing up, I realized everybody has to be molded by the culture and has to be exactly the same. Otherwise, you're an aberrant. Something wrong with you. And so I took the other way. I always wanted to know what's missing.
As a result of his open-mindedness and inquisitive nature, Dr. Vital readily accepted the possibility of a lifestyle without food.
I met a friend of mine, her name is Jasmuheen, and she wrote a great book called Pranic Nourishment, or Living on Light. It's another title for that book.
Right.
And I read it like 5 times, and everything she says in her book, it's absolutely 100% correct and true. Because I lived through that when I quit eating, and I know she's right. Yeah, it was perfect. So when I met her, And she asked, who's quitting? And I said, I raised my hand, and I said, me. So I said, one, and I said, today. And that was it.
Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Between Master and Disciples will return in just a moment. Welcome back to Between Master and Disciples on Supreme Master Television. Let's continue with our feature on Dr. Mony Vital, a lifestyle of true freedom. Once Dr. Vital made the decision to become food-free, the transitioning process was surprisingly smooth sailing.
I didn't have to go through the process of quitting because there's a 21-day process normally. I didn't have to do all that because I didn't have any baggage. I didn't have any issues to clear up, my family, my father, mother, all the conditioning. I didn't have all this stuff. I already worked on all these issues. So once I decided, it was over,
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't want to even drink water for a while. And I was working while doing it,
Right.
I mean,
So did you notice any difference in your body as far as did you lose weight or, what was your body's reaction to you deciding to do this?
well, I mean, I knew what's going to happen. This is not, a shot in the dark.
Right.
I knew every step of the way because I read in her books, and I mean, I knew myself too. Everything was right.